So here we have sample question number 8. It says simplify the expression. We already talked about the exponent of 0. Anything that's raised to the 0 power, we can simplify or reduce it by just saying that it's 1. But we gave you that caution. Remember, it might be half or a piece of the problem that becomes 1. The other piece might still be there because the exponent can only apply to the one item that's directly in front of it. So if you don't see parentheses, then it's only going to apply for one part of your problem. So I don't want you to say your final answer is 1. I can guarantee you're going to get it wrong. The reason why is because this 0 can only apply to the one item that it touches. The first item that it touches that's directly in front of it. Notice it's not touching in parentheses, but the variable. So that means that 0 can only apply to the variable. So only this part can become 1. Since this 0 has no control over the 5 or the negative, they're still there on the outside. And when you have a coefficient and you had a variable, the operation is multiplication. This is still multiplication. -5 times 1. Okay? So then our final answer, when you have -5y to the 0, in our case it's going to be just -5, not 1. Because only this piece became 1, but this is still there. Okay? This is a simple problem, so let me give you maybe 2 more just like this so we're on the same page. It's surprising how many students do this so quickly that they just remember anything raised to the 0 on a test and they say 1, 1, 1, 1, and they get it wrong. You gotta be careful. Like I said, piece of it becomes 1, but not the whole problem if you don't have a set of parentheses. So we want to make sure you get your 5 points from this question. Okay? So what happens if it was a positive exponent, or not, a positive coefficient? It's the same rules apply. You ask yourself, and I'll put this up here, we'll do another one, because it's so simple. We ask ourselves, what does that exponent apply to? And if you're not sure, I always said, from the exponent, go forward and see what's the first thing it touches. Notice it touches the x. The 0 can only apply to that one item. Remember, coefficients are different from variables. They gotta be separate. So this 0 can only apply to the x, not to the 4. Anything raised to the 0 power is true that that becomes 1, but anything that doesn't affect it is still there. So then you gotta remember, this becomes 1, but the 4 on the outside is still there. So this is how we get our answer of 4. 4 times 1, 4. Same principle here. I don't care if it was a negative coefficient or a positive coefficient. Remember, if you don't see parentheses, then this only applies to the letter M. Box it in and say that this will become 1, but because this -6 is outside the box, it's still there. So -6 times 1 is -6. If I wanted this 0 to apply to more than one item, you'll see me use parentheses. If I want it to apply to the 6 as well, but not to the negative, then I would write it like this. And see how the 0, the first thing it touches a parentheses first. So that means this whole base is a set of parentheses. So this whole thing becomes 1, but this negative is on the outside. So then it becomes -1. And if I want that 0 to apply not only to the m and to the 6, but also to the negative sign, then I use a bigger set of parentheses and write it like this. Make sure the 0 is on the outside, because the first thing this 0 touches is the set of parentheses. When it touches the set of parentheses, then everything in the parentheses is under the spell of 0. Anything raised to the 0 power becomes 1. That means everything in the box becomes 1. So our answer is 1 since there's nothing on the outside. So you really got to pay attention when it turns to just one item or multiple items. Okay? There you go.